Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared, and this is part 2 to my knife collection, and we are getting to my second knife roll. Now, the CIVIVI Riffle we did already check out, so in part 1, so that was just the knife to open this up to, so we can get to my second knife roll. This is an awesome knife roll. It is a CARHART knife roll, but, you know, it's a really durable way to carry your knives. Now, let's get into it. So, we got a lot of knives here. Let's get through them pretty quickly. So, first off, we have the RUIKE M662TZ. This is the titanium version. Now, this comes in different blade shapes. I have the other one right here. Now this one I put a little rubber O-ring around the thumb stud because the thumb studs are very sharp on these. You can see this one has the drop point. Now they had a budget version of this, but like I said, this is the titanium version. And it is an awesome knife. Very, very smooth on the drop. And the action is really good, but you have to keep your fingers off that lock bar. This lock bar is extremely, extremely touchy. And we have 154 cm blade steel. This is more of a Warncliffe blade shape, but it's a really useful little blade shape. G10 on the show side. Deep carry steel pocket clip though. I do think they could have done some things that could have upgraded these a little bit better, but they are fairly affordable for what you're getting, and awesome, awesome little knives. Let's get to the next ones. All right, next we have, the CJRB FELDSPAR. Now this is the ARRPM 9 version, and really good knives. These are solid knives. Now, I know some people had issues with theirs, but I've had 3 of them now, including the small one. Awesome, awesome knives. They come in different options. We will see another one here soon. Just a drop point blade. Very simple design, but that's kind of the beauty of it. G10, deep carry pocket clip that is reversible, nice and comfortable in the hand. And like I said, this comes in a mini version as well if you don't want a full size one. The action is on bearings, very, very smooth. Just a fantastic EDC knife. Next we have the Artisan, Centauri, the Artisan Centauri. This is a Ray Laconico design. Titanium frame lock. Beautiful clip. The clip works great, and it is a front flipper only. However, I find that this is almost my primary way of opening it. I just reverse flick it. It is so easy to reverse flick. Incredibly easy. It is a lighter detent since it is a front flipper. But I find that that's even easier than the front flipper. Amazing ergos. Very slim in the hand. Blade shape is one of the most useful blade shapes because you have a tip for puncturing. Yet it's really good for utility cuts. Great for slicing. It doesn't have so much belly to where it slips out of cuts. It helps trap itself in cuts. Really good blade shape. S35VM. This one has the carbon fiber. There are different options. And then this also has the micro milling that looks really, really good. Love that micro milling. And yeah, great, great knife. The one thing I wish they did have cut out to the lock bar. It's not horrible, but I do wish they had that. Now, it is super, super smooth, though. And the front flipper, I also wish they would have put jimping all the way up and around. In the finer jimping, it is a little bit more of slippier jimping, in my opinion, but it works great just because of the way they did it. So, in most cases, you know, it would be detrimental to have this type of jimping, but in this case, it's just fine. Next, we have the KUBEY CARVE. KUBEY CARVE, awesome, awesome knife. D2 steel Tonto, but this Tonto has a little bit of belly. This is an amazing work knife. Great ergos, great choke up spot. I like how it kind of gives you a double grip position, and it's extremely effective the way they did it. Nice secondary tip for doing, for opening things up in a little bit of utility cuts. The regular tip is still okay to get to, but you're going to use the secondary more often. Access to the lock bar, very nice, super, super smooth, and it has the fuller for the reverse flick. This does have a deep carry clip that is, I believe it is reversible. Maybe it's not reversible, actually. No, it's not reversible, but it's very easy to use and deploy left-handed. The detent is really solid on this. KUBEY does an amazing job. Amazing job. I do like what KUBEY's doing, especially on a lot of their newer stuff. You can see the wear on the blade. Great plunge grind. The flipper tab is nice and grippy, and once you break the detent, man, that thing just flies. Love this knife. Great worker. Next, we have the RUIKE M105TZ. Now, the TZ, I think, stands for the titanium versions. Now, this one is incredibly smooth. The flipping action is good. The ergos are great. Lots of great things about this knife. The budget version that they had in this was really good as well. Now, I do have a couple complaints, but I'm not going to sit here and go through them, but it's a good knife, solid knife, super comfortable in the hand. Love the blade shape. Once again, fantastic for just about everything, especially EDC related. This is N690 steel. We do have a steel pocket clip, and I'm not a big fan of the clip, but it is a titanium frame lock. Great access to the lock bar, super, super smooth. Lighter detent, but very easy to deploy. Backspacer, full backspacer, nice yellow color. It does kind of, pop with the clip. Now this is another one I can reverse flick. If it had a hole, oh my goodness. Next, man, we got to get through these pretty quick. Now this one, I can't remember the exact name of it, but it is a BOKER 0 or BOKER Plus 0. The designer passed away. Man, I can't think of his name. But awesome knife, nice huge thumb studs. G10, nice and comfortable in the hand. It is a hollow ground, leaf-shaped blade shape. Very mean and aggressive looking. The thumb studs are removable. It does have a non-deep carry clip. Washer action, very smooth. Detent is nice and solid. Great knife. A little bit more of a tougher style knife. Nice thick liners. Big stop pin. Lots of great things about this one. But it's discontinued now. They did have a titanium frame lock version that was only like $80. Next, we have the SITIVIEN ST103. We just recently had this in the video. But yeah, awesome budget knife. These are like $27 and hard to beat for $27. D2 steel, sheep's foot blade shape, great action, great choil, great work knife. Next, we have the Alien Knives. This is the small version of the Alien. Dang it, I can't think of the name of it. But Alien Knives did these with Concept. It's I do have the large one. We'll get to that one later. It is a smaller knife, 14C 28M blade steel. Good action. A lot of people complain about the positioning of the flipper tab. I would have liked to have seen him do this exact same knife with a hole deployment. But small choil, so it's not something you're really using too much. So you do kind of have to hold back here. You can, mess with it, but you're going to hit the edge. So it's really good in the pinch grips. This is how I use it, is just in the pinch grips. A little bit smaller of a knife. You see his logo right there. Deep carry clip, not reversible. Detent is solid. Stone-washed blade. Great blade shape. Let's get to the next one. Next one is the KIZER LAN. Come on, focus. KIZER LAN N690 steel. This one does come in a dual ground tanto as well, but this is the dual ground drop point blade. Beautiful satin finish. Amazing geometry, and this thing is ridiculously smooth. The detent is really good, but the action on this is ridiculously smooth. The detent is really nice. The way they have the positioning and the jimping. Come on. The flipper tab. The jimping on the flipper tab is really nice. Detent is, it feels light, but it's not. It's just so well tuned. As soon as you break the detent, it flies. It's very hard to fail this without meaning to. Not the most comfortable in the hand, but you can change the positioning on the clip. You can move it up and down. It does have a frag pattern micarta. And it's okay. It's not bad, especially for the type of grips I do when I'm cutting. But access to the lock bar is really good, and you can reverse flick it. The fuller is easy to reverse flick, right or left-handed. And yeah, awesome, awesome knife. Let's get to the next one. Next one is the button lock Elementum. Awesome knife. I personally love this. I don't care what anybody says. The button lock Elementum's awesome. One, I love the feeling of it when it locks back up. You can actually hear it. And it like sucks the blade back in. But it sucks the blade back in to the handle because it locks when it's closed. So you have to push the button to deploy it and you just swing it out. I personally like it, especially because of the blade shape, the grind, and the ergos. This is like my style of knife. I love a spear point blade with a nice deep hollow grind, beautiful sharpening choil, micarta, reversible deep carry clip, very neutral ergos. So this is a great user. And it is stupid smooth, very easy to deploy. And I technically, I push the button and I flick it and let go. I'm pretty good at doing that. So I have other ways of deploying it too, but I love it. I do have a full review on a lot of these. Next is another button lock. We have the ALTUS. This is a new button lock, the CIVIVI ALTUS. Thumb stud action. This one's a little bit smaller now, but you can get still a full 4-finger grip. Deep carry reversible clip. T8 hardware all the way around. The blade steel on the Elementum was 14C28N, and this is Nitro V. Very similar steels, so I love them both. Both are fantastic. They're like my favorite budget steels, or mid-grade steels, I guess, because I like to say they're mid-grade, not necessarily budget, because there's so many steels that, to me, they're the upper tier, so they're more of a mid-grade steel. But fantastic knife. I do have a review on that one. Next, we have the RUIKE M126TZ. It is a titanium version because it's the TZ. They did have a budget version of this. So, nice strong detent. Nice snappy action. It does have a tanto blade. And it has a bead blasted finish on its 154 cm, I believe. Yes, 154 cm. Titanium frame lock. Deep carry clip that's not reversible, and it is a steel clip. It does have a lock on it, so you can't disengage it. And it does work fairly well. Or it works great. But yeah, very simple. Not too much more to say. Next is the SHIELDON EMPOLEON. This is a great little budget knife. The detent is so good on this. This is like such a solid detent. It rockets out. Really smooth action. Nice neutral ergos, and it's not a deep carry clip, so it doesn't annoy you in the hand too much. I mean, I do feel this little ramp a little bit, but it's not horrible. Beautiful drop point. It has a titanium nitrate coating. and the action's good. My lockup's starting to get a little late, but it's rock solid, so no issues. Solid little knife. Next, we have the CIVIVI Synergy 3. This is the budget version. I do still have to do a full review on this. Nice grippy G10 liner lock. Great flipping action. The original was a integral titanium frame lock knife that was very expensive. This is a budget version, Nitro V steel. It's an O Young design. It is more of a Persian blade shape or a trailing point, but because of the way it angles, it actually allows you to use the tip a little bit better than some trailing points, and it's a really good self-defense blade shape. Access to the lock bar is pretty good, and it does feel well done. Crown spine, like I said, the detent is nice and solid. There are little details that make this feel, you know, pretty good quality. Next, we have the KIZER ROACH. This is the MICARTA liner lock version. They do have a frame lock version. I'm not sure how many more are available. They've been selling them really cheap because the titanium frame lock version's been out for a while. This liner lock version just recently came out mid to end of last year. Awesome knife. I do like it. Back here, you have this little spot right there for your pinky. Really comfortable, and then you have a nice good choke up spot. You can get some really good push cuts. Great blade shape. Great access to the lock bar. Stupid smooth. Detent and action is really good. N690 steel. But yeah, Matt Degnan design. Not a reversible clip, but it does have a roach clip on it. And the MICARTA is really good quality. T8 hardware all the way around. Lots of great things about this one. The titanium frame lock one's really good too. And like I said, they've been selling it for a really good deal. Next, we have the TWOSUN 305, I think it is. The TWOSUN TS305. So this is a reverse flicker and a front flipper. Now, this is in 14C28M blade steel. Beautiful, very well done carbon fiber. And it has a titanium frame lock. Nice, really strong lockup. Very solid. Good. The access to the lock bar isn't like, it doesn't have a huge cutout, but they put these two chamfers, so it works out really good. Very smooth action. The front flipper is really easy to use. It has nice acoustics. Now, it's a large knife. That's the one thing. It is a big knife. It's like a 9-inch knife. Ergos are really good. The blade does kind of sweep up a little bit. So, you know, if you look at it in a straight way, you see how the blade kind of goes up. I do wish it would have went down, but it does work really good slicing with it because the ergos are so comfortable. It slices incredibly well. Now, some people have a problem reverse flicking it because they try to go like this and go out. You gotta go like this. Angle it in your hand and then use the top corner. And it works really well. No problems at all. And the front flipper does work really good. They put really good jimping in the exact spot you want it. So, great knife. Not a big fan of the clip, but it does work okay on this one because the tension isn't really strong like on some of them. But yeah, really good build quality because like the sandwich construction does make it nice and strong. So yeah, solid knife. Not for everybody, a little large for everybody, or for most people, but good knife. Next, the RUIKE M671TZ. This is a little guy from RUIKE. Front flipper and thumb studs. Works great. It is a tiny knife. This one's in 154 cm. This is a steel backspacer, not titanium though. The frame is a titanium frame lock, but the clip in the backspacer is steel. Don't ask me why, but good access to the lock bar. Front flipping action works great. It is a compact little knife. Tanto with a little bit more thicker geometry. Not crazy. It works just fine, but not super slicey. but it is a good little knife. Next we have, oh, I like this one. This is the KIZER PPY. Yeah, PPY. I love the blade shape on this. Almost I think it's like a Spanish spear point, I believe. Anyways, it's similar to a spear point blade without being, you know, perfectly centered. So the utility cuts are really good. You can really use the tip for lots of things while also having a great blade shape for slicing. Great access to the lock bar, and this is ridiculously smooth. Very similar action to the bag lighters, where the detent is so good on the thumb studs, and man, is it smooth. Love the action on this. It's like effortless. Once you break the detent, this thing kicks. We have dual micartas, red micarta and a black micarta, reversible deep carry clip that is not inset, but it has flat screws. The micarta is really good quality. I believe it's N690 steel. No, sorry, excuse me, 154 cm steel, 154 cm. Great access to the lock bar, but yeah, the jimping on it is really nice too. Great jimping. Lots of traction there. Solid little knife. And last one for part 2, we have the RUIKE M875TZ. So this is a titanium frame lock rake. Once again, great ergos. Love the blade shape. The handle has this carbon fiber inlay, and then we have a titanium milled pocket clip. It does have a lock again to prevent you from disengaging, and the action is pretty good. Detent, it's good, but it's not the best. I don't know how to explain it, but it's good. It's good. I don't know. I wish it was maybe just a little bit smoother on the drop. Maybe that would help the kick. Or you know what? Actually, I'd really like to see some jimping on the flipper tab, but it's fine. I'm not trying to sit here and complain while I'm just showing some of the collection. But it's a good knife. Jimping on the spine of the blade is a bit sharp. It does have a plunge grind that hits the edge, but it is a good knife. You know, it's a solid knife, but I wish I could just like change a few little things about it, because man, this could be such an amazing knife if just a couple things were changed, even though it is a good knife already. Great knife already, but just a couple little details could really turn that knife around into an amazing knife. But there you guys go. I love you guys. I'm hopefully going to get through all these knives through this collection, but it's going to be tough, and I know I'm going to miss some, but we're going to try to hit them all. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.